The afternoon sun leaked through the long glass windows of St. Mercy Veterans Hospital, painting thin golden lines across the sterile white floor. The air smelled faintly of sanitizer and old paper, the kind of scent that carried memories of time passing slowly. Down the silent corridor, Arthur Red Dawson, a 94-year-old Marine, moved carefully with his silver walker. His hands trembled slightly as they gripped the handles, the veins on his wrists like faded battle maps. He had seen war, Pacific heat, falling comrades, and years of silence that followed. But what broke him most wasn't war. It was being invisible now, forgotten in a place meant to care. At the nurse's station stood Nurse Claire Morrison, mid-40s, sharp suit, colder eyes. Her tone was clipped, impatient. "Arthur, you're blocking the hallway again," she said. Arthur turned, his voice fragile but polite. "Ma'am, I'm just trying to get to my room." She rolled her eyes, then moved faster. The walker squeaked, one wheel jammed. He tried to fix it. Claire sighed, and in a flash of cruel frustration, her hand struck his face. The slap cracked through the hallway like a gunshot. Arthur stumbled back. The walker clattered to the tiles, echoing down the corridor. For a moment, everything went still. Even the fluorescent hum seemed to stop. Then came a deep, synchronized sound, the heavy thud of boots. From around the corner, 15 bikers emerged, their black leather vests marked with the Hells Angels emblem, tattoos, gray beards, and eyes that had seen the street's hardest truths. At the front walked Max Steele Turner, tall, broad-shouldered, with a scar running down his cheek. They had come to visit a fellow veteran recovering from surgery. When they saw Arthur on the ground, his cheek red, his dignity shattered, every biker froze. Max's jaw clenched so hard you could hear the grind. He took one step forward. What the hell happened here? Claire's face paled. He fell. It wasn't. Mac cut her off. His voice was low, deadly calm. "I've seen Marines fall before. That wasn't a fall." Two bikers, Diesel and Ranger, lifted Arthur gently. "Easy, sir. You're all right now." Arthur blinked through tears he tried to hide. "It's fine, boys. I've taken worse." But the way his voice cracked told a different story. Claire backed away, trembling now as the corridor filled with rough men in black, each of them silent but radiating fury. Mac turned to Arthur. "Sir, what's your name?" Arthur straightened his back as much as his frail frame allowed. "Corporal Arthur Dawson, United States Marine Corps. Retired." Mac's eyes softened. "Well, Corporal, you're not alone anymore." That day, the bikers didn't leave the hospital. They stood in the hall, 15 of them, guarding Arthur's door like a wall of leather and loyalty. Every nurse who passed by slowed, whispering. Patients peeked from rooms, some smiling, some crying. For the first time in years, the hospital didn't feel cold. It felt alive with honor. By evening, the story had spread through the whole ward. A young janitor showed Mac the security footage. The slap was caught clear as daylight. Mac sent it straight to the local Veterans Association. Within hours, the hospital director arrived. Claire tried to defend herself, but witnesses spoke up. It wasn't the first time she had lost her temper, just the first time someone powerful had seen it. When the police escorted her out that night, she avoided Arthur's eyes. Mac didn't say a word. He just nodded once, not in anger, but in justice served. Later, under the soft orange glow of the sunset, Mac wheeled Arthur outside to the small hospital garden. The air smelled of rain-soaked grass and old roses. "You know," Mac said, lighting a cigarette, but never smoking it, "my old man was a vet too. Died waiting for respect he earned decades ago. Guess I couldn't let that happen again." Arthur chuckled softly. "You boys are tougher than most soldiers I've met." Mac smiled faintly. "And you, sir, are tougher than time." The next morning, something extraordinary happened. Dozens of bikers from across the city gathered outside St. Mercy. They stood in silence, holding American flags, paying tribute to every veteran inside. Cameras rolled, but no one spoke. It wasn't for fame, it was for respect. The hospital administration launched a new policy that day, the Dawson Code, ensuring all veterans received priority care and daily dignity checks. Arthur became a symbol of resilience and quiet strength. The 15 bikers became his family, visiting daily, fixing his walker, sharing coffee, and listening to his stories about Iwo Jima, Okinawa, and the brothers he lost there. 3 weeks later, Arthur passed away peacefully in his sleep. When the nurses entered his room, they found him holding his old Marine pin, and beside it, a folded leather patch from Mac's vest that read, Honor has no expiry date. At his funeral, all 15 bikers stood in a line beside his coffin. Mac placed his hand on the flag covering Arthur's body and whispered, "Rest easy, Marine." "We've got the watch now." As the bagpipes played softly in the distance, the wind carried the faint sound of motorcycles revving, not in rage but in tribute. If you believe respect, loyalty, and kindness still matter, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to Exposed Tales. Have you ever seen a moment where strangers stood up for what's right? That day, a hospital learned compassion, a gang found purpose, and a Marine finally found peace, surrounded not by soldiers but by angels in leather. Real strength isn't in fists or fear. It's in standing up for those who can't. Sometimes, the loudest act of kindness is silent and forever.